I thought I'd try and do this one outside with all this lovely weather that we're having. Hopefully I'm not squinting too much. I did. I had an excellent session with local jazz percussionist Mike Hughes a little while back. We just about managed to fit his vibraphone in my little studio, and I was very happy with the final result. It's an instrument that I've always loved. I've always loved the sound of it, and I use it a lot whenever I do orchestral stuff. It just adds a little something, even if it's just a texture, even if it's not playing a main line. It's just a really nice texture to have. And having the chance to record the real thing with somebody who knows what they're doing with it is great fun. And Mike was a pleasure to work with. And on the track on which it features, it's mostly doubling a lot of the guitar melodies, and the sound of it just combines with the guitar really elegantly. That's not all that's been keeping me busy for the past month either. I also did a session with John Pearson, who plays a great many instruments, but in this case was providing viola for the final track. And again, there was more doubling of the melodies, but here it's a much slower piece than the others, so the lines are a bit broader, and the sound of the viola is able to extend some of those guitar lines in a really nice way. And we also did some neat texture work as well, so we had some string air sounds and some harmonics that will really add to the atmosphere of that one as well. It feels a bit sort of, almost feels a bit frosty or wintry in places to me. I don't really know why, but the textures that we've added with the strings I think will really complement that nicely. And finally, the other day, I got back the final version of the piano track from my mate Ant Castellanidis in London, who was recording his lovely sounding upright. Overall, these kind of sounds are there to add texture to the tracks more than anything, especially as the tone changes across the album. They're there to kind of bolster the melodies, but also because it's better to work with real players and to work with the musicians and work with real musicians as you develop your work. I think the end result will be to give the recordings even more colour than anything that we've done before. But with the core of the guitar, bass, drums trio still playing the core of the composition, so that when it's performed live it won't feel hollow. It's a tricky balance because I love having the extra sounds to blend in, and it's easy to always want to add more and more. But I'm keen for these pieces to translate pretty closely in a live setting as well. It is feeling pretty real now. In between the recording sessions, I've been mixing tracks that have everything ready to go, and 5 of the 8 that we're going to do are pretty much done. The whole thing is a pretty iterative process, so there'll always be little tweaks here and there. The saying goes that you never finish a mix, you just decide to stop working on it. And I'll deliberately not listen to a mix for a few days, and then I'll come back to it and I'll instantly hear a few things that can be messed with. It's always the way. But with all the recording now properly done, I've just got to get the last 3 to a similar place as the others, and then the work begins on how best to release this thing and how to help people actually hear it. I've also got final artwork delivery coming this week. I found a wonderful Italian artist called Silvia Pedrina, who has created something thoughtful and colourful, and it is exactly what I wanted for the cover of the album. She seems to work successfully in a great many mediums, but this is principally a watercolour work, and it's very gratifying to have a real piece of artwork as the cover, and I hope that it's as pleasing to everyone else's eyes as it is to mine. So that's about it for now. The next time I do one of these will hopefully be when the mixes are done and mastering is just around the corner. So I'm going to go and get back to work, and until next time.